Good morning and welcome to CNET's live coverage of CES 2022. It's the first day, press day, and we are kicking things off bright and early with the first cab off the rank, LG. Now, LG is always a very big player at CES. We can expect a lot of weird and wonderful things, think amazing TVs, and I'm sure we're going to expect more of that today. Now, we're kicking off with their press conference at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is in about 15 minutes. We'll be carrying that press conference live. But before we get there, I'm going to introduce my colleague, the wonderful Ayaz Akhtar, to talk through everything we're expecting to see today. Now, Ayaz, I'm excited to have you here, even if it's kind of remotely like this.
CES 2022, LG is going to have some fun stuff. I'm going to try to focus on the positive here. I'm not in Vegas, you're not in Vegas, but I'm telling you there's going to be some fun stuff coming out of Vegas.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I've got to say, it's already been a pretty busy morning. We've had TCL and AMD press conferences. NVIDIA is coming up at 8 o'clock as well. Now, LG is technically the first one that's part of CES proper. TCL and AMD have kind of done their own thing on the side, which is kind of a bit of a picture that we're seeing this year. We'll get to that in a moment. If you're interested in chatting along with us and telling us what you think you're going to see today, any questions, ideas, tweet at us at #CNETLive. But that's the thing I've got to mention, Ayaz. I'm not in Vegas. You're not in Vegas. I was supposed to be, out on the strip today. I mean, I wasn't going to be out gambling and having fun. I would have been hitting the show floor. But it's unfortunately, we've had to make a decision to stay at home and cover this show virtually and remotely. But of course, we'll still be covering all of the big press conferences today. We've got a jam-packed schedule, which you can watch all on YouTube, CNET highlights, and on CNET's flagship YouTube channel. But it's a bit strange to be doing the show remotely again. We've seen a few brands pull out of having a physical presence at the show, brands like Amazon, Google. There's been a whole raft of them. What do you kind of feel to be doing this to be doing this show remotely again, Ayaz? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's for the best right now to be safe than sorry, because the thing about CES is it's fully international. This isn't just like a local thing that happens in Vegas. People from all over the world come to this big event to show off what they got. We're talking about representatives from every single country in like the Tech West area. There's always these smaller vendors from lots of different countries. And because you have all this international travel and all of these different people come from all over the world, it could be very dangerous in our current times. So for the sake of safety, it's always best to be, like I said, be safe than sorry.
I think I've got to agree with you there. 2 years ago, I got influenza at CES, and it was a very unhappy experience being forced to stay inside my hotel room. So I certainly know that a bunch of outlets, a bunch of brands aren't actually physically attending the show this year, but we certainly did it last year and it was quite successful. And I think we're learning that, a lot of brands are doing press conferences on their own. They've realized they can really effectively live stream everything, not have any screw ups on stage with tech and gadgets going wrong. So I guess this is potentially a sign of maybe things to come. Maybe the shape of CES is going to change into the future after we've had two sort of pandemic CESs. But enough about that. I want to talk about what we're going to see at LG today. Now, we've already had a couple of things kind of come out, a bit of information coming out. Ayaz, what are you really wanting to see from LG today?
What do I want to see from LG today? I want to see the future. One of their big taglines of making your life better or something similar to that effect. If they're going to make your life better, it's how are they going to do that? Flexible OLEDs are awesome. You can roll them and everything else. But how is that going to impact the day-to-day kind of thing? I want to see some LG display technologies maybe in AR glasses or maybe some kind of brand new virtual environment they can come up with, because LG's got some really advanced technologies when it comes to displays, but they also make pretty much everything. We're talking about smart washers and dryers and things like that. A couple of years ago, they had a smart washer that could determine the load in the washer and go, those are mixed t-shirts. I'm going to decide how to do this. That is a way to make things easier. So I'm hoping we're going to see innovation in the AI sense and maybe some of the AR sense.
Okay, all right. There is another way to detect what's going into your washing machine, Ayaz, and that's to check when you're sorting your brights and whites and colors and things. But I'll hope that there's some AI in there for you as well. There's a few stories and a few things we've seen just to talk about those big panels and the kind of the cool fancy tech and OLED and display. We've seen a few things already. So we have seen the announcement of OLED X or OLED.X. I'm still going to work out how they say that, which is a technology that's going to allow them to create panels that are 30% brighter and with a 30% smaller bezel. That's what they're promising with this new technology, which is going to be rolled out across all of their TVs in 2022, I think by Q2, the second quarter of 2022. So I'm actually interested to see what that technology really looks like, how it's going to perform, and what it's going to mean for their kind of higher end panels. And speaking of really high end panels, I can't not talk about some of the weird stuff, which hopefully we'll see today from LG Display. Now, LG Display is a separate company to LG, but they make a lot of the panels that are used around the world, kind of affiliated with them. And they're the ones that give us those rollable, transparent, weird and wonderful display panels. And already we have seen transparent OLED from them, but we have seen this amazing, weird chair. It's kind of like a TV throne. Our colleague David Katzenmeier described it as very, very strange. It's kind of a semicircular kind of orb thing that you sit in and you just watch a TV in front of you, about viewing distance of about 1.5 meters, which is apparently the optimal viewing experience for a TV. I think also the optimal viewing experience for a TV is sitting inside a giant ark and looking like maybe you're in Jurassic World. I don't really know what they're going for there, but it looks like a cool gadget. As we've certainly seen some strange, weird and wonderful things in the past from LG, haven't we? I mean, they take these opportunities at CES to have a really big swing and say, this isn't about a $200 panel you might buy on Black Friday at a discount. We're going to show you the very best of the best and the very weirdest of the weird. You've kind of looked into some of the stuff that they've done in the past, and that's something we might expect from them today, right?
Yeah, in the past, you could look at glimpses of the future from LG. You mentioned the transparent OLED TVs. Now, these have been shown off before. They showed it off more this year. They seem to have more of a commercial application than in-home use, because why would you want to look through a TV? But in the real world, when you want to use these, is maybe have a divider at a bar, maybe have it for a sales display. LG has also shown off its rollable TVs as well. We mentioned that. Those went from concept to reality really quickly. If you actually think about the time span in which we saw it at first, oh yeah, this thing rolls out. Yeah, nobody's going to have that. Fast forward to today, you can buy it today. But way back in 2018, LG was showing off its own robots, okay? There was 3 of them. One was a serving robot. The other was a porter, one thing to like grab your luggage and things. And the other was a shopping cart robot. Now, if you look at the video right now, you can see they look kind of the same. They look like big garbage can drums upside down, and they got little displays on there, and they're supposed to have actual functions. Claire, do you think that LG will move along with its robots? Maybe even a home robot, considering Amazon introduced Astro, its own home robot, not too long ago.
I think, yeah, that's the future of robotics. I mean, I've been covering shows for a long time now, and there's often a little weird, wonderful kind of humanoid robot that's very cute and anthropomorphic that we love to look at, that feels comfortable to make the bleeding edge of robotics feel safe for us. But Astro was certainly one that we saw, as you say, from Amazon, that kind of felt like it could be in the home. I'm not sure if I would have it in my home. I think my dog would absolutely lose it. But yeah, I think that's the way that robotics is going to kind of have to, pardon the pun, roll out, because a lot of these things roll into your home and roll on stage. Yeah, for me, it's maybe not something we're going to see straight away. I can't see these being in, a car in every garage and a rolling robot in every house. But I certainly think it's the way brands are going to kind of acclimatize us to these sorts of devices by making them a home assistant. I mean, we already have our home assistants, in our Google Home, our Alexa on the, sorry if I just activated your speakers if you're watching at home, on the bench top. Maybe you've got it built into your smart fridge. It's already on your TV. It's kind of omnipresent. Maybe we're not quite at the stage where it's all invisible and just kind of encompassing us in the ether, but it's certainly something that we could see roll out into more devices like robots. Also, I just love a robot on stage. I just love seeing whatever bonkers thing they've come up with next, and making me love. I don't know. It's probably going to have some sort of ridiculous name, but yeah. I want a robot today, Ayaz. I'm calling it here. I have to say, though, like, for all of the grand hopes and exciting things that we're looking for in today's show, there's a really big factor we have to talk about, and that's, year 2, 3 of the pandemic. Supply chain is a massive issue, and we've seen a lot of shortages of devices. Chips are the really big thing. I'm wondering whether we're going to see more in the way of kind of software tweaks and optimization rather than huge new overhauling of form factors. I think that the way we're buying devices is shifting a little bit right now. So are you expecting to see that shift play out in what they kind of offer us today, Lance?
Yeah, I could see us seeing some really amazing concept devices that won't be possible, or even with the supply chain, so it wouldn't even be an idea about this year or maybe next year. So maybe getting us excited about the future. But I think you're right about this. There's going to be a lot of software optimization to make sure that the stuff that runs on the current hardware, the stuff that people can get their hands on, that's going to run better and smoother. Because, like I said before, the experience of using a device, it's supposed to make your life easier. And if something's buggy and it's not working right, it's not responding to you, that is not what you want to deal with. So in the years that have been going on, in the past several years, that is, hopefully LG and companies like LG are really trying to make the experience better with the hardware they already have.
You're totally right. I think it's one thing to introduce these exciting new developments. It's another thing to actually make sure they work and that they're making life good, if I was to pull out the LG catchphrase. So we are just a couple of minutes away now from the press conference, due to start at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is in about 4 minutes time. We will be carrying that live. Feel free to tweet along with us at hashtag CNET Live. Drop your thoughts in the comments as well. And we've got a very busy day of press conferences today. We are pretty much running them back to back. Our team behind the scenes are working their little toes off. I don't know if you can work your toes off if you're sitting in your home office, but we will be covering all of it, so you can make sure that you will stay tuned to us and we will have everything. We've got hosted live shows for Hyundai coming up this afternoon, and of course I'll be back this evening, 5:45, for Samsung. Now that's probably one of the big competitors to LG. LG and Samsung, it is a tale as old as time. LG is getting in first thing in the morning, making sure everyone wakes up and watches their press conference. Are you expecting to see that old rivalry play out again this year at CES, Ayaz?
Yeah, absolutely, because there's some big news that just popped up. Samsung is introducing its own OLED TVs this year. LG is the leader in this. Samsung hasn't officially mentioned it, but the Samsung QD display won a CES Innovation Award. So CES on their site talked about a product that's not officially out. Now, Samsung was reached by CNET. We asked them, hey, can you tell us about it? We'll talk about it later. So maybe by the end of the day, we'll see what Samsung's got for LG in the OLED field.
That's amazing. We'll talk about it later. Stop asking us questions. We're still trying to set up our booth. I love that, Ayaz. I love that, the places we go for little scoops and information on this, and CES kind of beating them to the punch and putting out that award, which is great. Love an award, but maybe not before we've announced the product. I'm interested to see what happens with Samsung this afternoon. It's all about, panel technology. Panels are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but there's also a limit in the actual size you can feasibly manufacture when you're talking about a single panel, not modular. We're certainly spending a lot more time at home, so it's the technology category to be watching. Of course, we are going to see things like home appliances. I'm expecting today. LG is a big player in that. You talked about your intelligent washing machine, Ayaz. Hopefully, we'll see some exciting things there. LG is also a player in kitchen appliances, so we may see some announcements in that front. And of course, there's so much happening. I have to know, do you think there's a kind of a limit we can get to with TV technology? Is there going to be something that they can do today that absolutely blows your socks off? Or is it kind of, we're just seeing iterations and it's brighter, it's blacker, it's got a thin bezel, but there's only so far we can go?
Yeah, I think your discussion about your point about panel size is the real key here, because how can you make these things large enough and actually support itself? And LG has been working on new materials on the inside of their devices to make them lighter, which makes the form factor possible to make a thin OLED display that can actually structurally be put on a wall without there needing to be multiple panels. And as you mentioned, with the smaller and smaller bezels, it could be possible, if they get small enough, you could make maybe mini OLED, not mini OLEDs, you can take OLEDs and attach them to each other and build a full-out display that way. So I think we're seeing technology move in two different ways. As for the devices getting thinner and lighter, and the bezels getting smaller, so you can put more of them together. So I think that's what we're going to see.
All right. Well, it looks like we might be seeing the start of that press conference there. So, John Legend. All right, he's kicking it off. Let's take the press conference, but we'll be back after the show with a full breakdown of everything we've seen today. So let's go to LG.
Stay tuned to see what else we're working on together. I hope you enjoy what LG has in store today at LG CES 2022. I've heard lots of great things. I really can't wait.
Hello, and welcome to the LG.
Hey there. I hope you're going to join LG at CES. We've been working together to help you live the better life you deserve. This past holiday season, we brought you a song and video called You Deserve It All. But I'm even more excited about what's to come. Stay tuned to see what else we're working on together. I hope you enjoy what LG has in store today at LG CES 2022. I've heard lots of great things. I really can't wait.
Hello, and welcome to the LG World Premiere at CES 2022. As the world slowly but surely regains a sense of normalcy, we are all facing an important question. Are we to return to the normal, the old way of doing things, or move forward to something better? Not just improving how we pursue a better life, but transforming at a very fundamental level the very meaning of what a better life is. So as we continue to pursue innovation for a better life, as we say at LG, this year we wanted to share with you, along with the latest in our innovative products and solutions, stories about the better life you deserve. Because wherever you are watching us from, we know that you are doing your part to make changes that matter, to make life truly better for all those around you. And our job is to support you and empower you with our innovations in all your journeys to attain the better life you deserve. Yes, we are still all about better convenience, better safety, and better entertainment, but all better in a different, broader, and fuller sense. Much more personal, much more inclusive, sustainable, and ahead into the future. So today, what we have for you are stories about innovation and progress. But at the same time, there are also stories about value that never change, about family, about love, and about inspiration to do better, not just for ourselves now, but for all that share our time on this planet, and for the many generations still to come. Let's start.
Strawberry cake ingredients, 2 cups flour.
Oh, it's open. Come on in.
Powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 3/4 scoop on salt.
Hey, neighbor. It's freezing outside. Oh, come over here. Isn't this an air purifier? I need a heater. Give it a second. Thanks for coming to help me with this cake, Carol. I can use all the help I can get since George decided to disappear this morning. Oh, yeah, sure. You got a new TV? Huge! Look at that detail. It's a brand new LG Oled TV. I didn't even know they made OLEDs in that size. Hey, LG, continue watching on the kitchen TV. What? How did the recipe get from over there to over here? I didn't even see you touch your TV. I just transferred it over using the room-to-room share feature. Perks of having all these smart TV screens at home. This would work perfectly as my bedside entertainment. I won't even have to fight my husband for the remote control anymore. Carol, would you turn the TV so I can see the recipe? Oh, and hand me my phone. I'm gonna make us this lasagna lunch kit.
What do you need your phone for that for?
Well, I just need to scan the barcode on the package. It'll show you the recommended cooking temperature. Oh, and check this out. The cooking time even appears on the LG Thinkq app. All I do, I just press send, the oven turns on, and... Carol?
George! George, are you back? We need you, man!
Who is this, huh?
You're not George. Ellie, is that you?
Hello, this is Carol. Can you hear me?
I can hear you crystal clear.
Hey, Carol, would you help me move the wet laundry to the dryer?
In a minute. All right, boys, I'll be right back. I gotta go. How do you have so many settings? Is mine outdated? I thought we got the same model.
Oh, just upgrade them. Yours can have all these features, too. All you have to do is download them to your device. That's how I got more settings and customized washes.
No way.
Yeah, so if you could just move the laundry to the dryer.
Is that the lasagna? I'm starving. How many of these do you want on there?
I don't know. Let's say, like...
Why do you have plants growing in your fridge?
Oh, George bought me that. It was his way of telling me to stop killing all the plants in the house.
Fresh herbs all year round?
Oh, actually, while you're over there, will you grab some fresh mint?
Hey, babe. Oh, and Carol.
George, where have you been? We had to shop for an LG soundbar Claire. My parents are gonna love it. Thank you.
Of course, they deserve the best.
Hey, what about me? I helped a lot, too.
That's true. Carol's been such a darling. Carol, what would we do without you? Right?
Sorry I left you here alone with Carol.
It's fine.
From thoughtfully designed appliances to the coolest entertainment devices, at LG, we tailor fit everything to serve your unique tastes and needs. You'll see how LG does this, but before that, let's meet Gail Conroy, Senior Director of Home Appliance Consumer Marketing, and Ginny Kim, Director of Home Entertainment Marketing.
Did you see the look on Carol's face? That's the kind of wow we want to bring each and every one of our customers with products designed to elevate everything we do at home. Work, play, or just plain relax. Our 2022 lineup of LG OLED TVs consists of the most expansive range of screen sizes and the brightest and finest picture quality ever. At LG, we want to take your television experience beyond TV. Enjoy your favorite shows and concerts with the Live Now app. Share the experience with the Watch Together feature, watching and chatting live with your family and friends. Why not get up and move to the beat with 1 Million Dance Studios online live dance classes? More gamer? LG TVs with Geforce Now will give you a powerful cloud gaming platform with no additional hardware required, besides your go-to controller. But the LG TV experience goes beyond entertainment. With LG's first fitness platform, LG Fitness, you can access a range of fitness videos, AI coaching, and personal training data management. Better yet, mix it up with the popular interactive fitness platform Peloton for all your fitness needs. In collaboration with Independa, your LG TV can now provide telehealth care services, from medication alerts to virtual consultations with medical professionals, for a truly immersive and worry-free experience. Our effort to reinvent the role of TV in our lives continue, even when the screen's off. With the new optional Always Ready feature, your LG TV can remain ready for your voice commands through Thinkq AI.
Even better, when your appliances know just what you need done, when and how, whether it's convenience, hygiene, health, or more, here at LG, we have something for everyone. We work hard to make sure our products can meet your every personal customized need. because our mission is to deliver to you the most effortless and convenient lifestyle possible.
This next device features thoughtful innovation and seasonal modes to suit the requirements of any living space, anytime. A multifunctional air purifier, fan, and heater, the PureCare Aero Tower captures 99.97% of fine dust down to 0.3 microns with 360-degree HEPA filter. Working alongside that, LG's own UV nanotechnology captures airborne bacteria, providing an added layer of protection for you and your loved ones. Enjoy clean, fresh air, guaranteed. It even cools you when you're hot and purifies your home's air all year round. It's just a better life companion that you and your family deserve. Keeping things dirt-free and hygienic is a priority in every home. Your favorite AI Direct Drive, or AIDD, levels up your style by leveling up the life of your clothes. Just upgrade your device via the Thinkq app and enjoy a lifestyle that is customized to your needs. Let's hear more about this from Gail.
And now, let's meet a new concept from appliances from LG. It's a familiar story. Appliances faithfully perform their tasks until they need replacing, or a lifestyle necessitates change. Wouldn't it be great if they could evolve with your changing needs? Thanks to LG's artificial intelligence technology, now they can. LG is delivering home appliances that learn and receive regular updates, just like a smartphone, to deliver new features that perfectly fit the way you live. Our appliances learn from users' behavior, analyzing daily usage patterns to gain an understanding of how and where it can add value, ultimately upgrading its features to make your life even better. With LG's brand new concept, you can experience the LG Wash Tower's time-saving premium preheating function on your existing LG washing machine or dryer. It can also let you select your favorite alarm for your washer, dryer, even styler when the cycle is complete. If you have any pet friends in your family, you can also download the pet mode for the washer to keep your clothes smelling fresh and fur-free. If you're a regular late-night snacker but can't stand your refrigerator's bright light, simply adjust your fridge's lighting for nighttime with the LG Thinkq app. LG's Aero Tower can also be upgraded with various airflow modes to ensure your comfort. In 2022, LG will offer these innovative features, starting with our washing machines and expanding to our refrigerators and Aero Tower. We'll provide frequent updates with innovative features that will help you upgrade your LG appliances tailored to your lifestyle and needs. We'll make life better for you.
Ah, music to my ears. You can personalize your alert sounds as well. All of this is customizable in your app. Speaking of personalization, LG Thinkq is relaunching and ever-evolving, designed to understand you better, to ensure maximized efficiency and productivity for your home. In addition to the Upgrade Center, to deliver new features for your home appliances, LG Thinkq provides an improved in-app experience so that your out-of-app experience is smoother and more convenient. With functions like Smart Tips Trending on TV, My Page, Find Your Filter, and routines, you get more free time to focus on the more important things in life.
It's really about the experiences that make our lives more full and meaningful. And at LG, we continue to offer innovations that make that happen. Now let's head over to Ellie's parents to see what other innovations LG has in store.
I'd like to thank LG for having me part of the advisory group. The Life's Good Award is a great initiative. Let's continue playing our part in making this world a greener place.
I'm proud of you, honey. Just focus on saving the planet. I'll take care of the house today. Because you deserve it all.
I do deserve it all. You should clean like this every day. Honey, don't forget to turn the lights off when you're done in there.
I know, dear. You've been telling me that for the past 30 years.
The vacuum cleaner begins cleaning with the dry mop.
Hey, Mom, we're here. We're in the kitchen. Hi.
Hey, the whole gang's here.
Oh, I hope you didn't drive here.
Happy anniversary!
Oh, an LG soundbar eclair. Now we can hear everything.
Eco-friendly materials and packaging. I'm impressed.
Hey, Mom, I'm parched. Do we have any fresh juice?
Knock twice to see what's in the fridge, Ellie.
Not twice. Huh. Hey, no juice.
Yeah, you don't see the juice. But you know what else you don't see? How much energy is wasted every time you open the fridge door unnecessarily.
Okay, you're right. Guess I'll just help myself to some water.
Did you know that OLED TVs are made with fewer plastic components than conventional TVs?
We know!
The tech industry moves at such a fast and competitive pace, but it's so important to keep ourselves grounded and remember it's all about making the home a more caring place, both inside and out. Since 2006, we've been developing LG's sustainability management, aimed at improving lives through management that benefits both the environment and society, and it's founded on 3 core values. First, our continued commitment to making technology more inclusive and accessible to all. Second, our promise to deliver responsible products with eco-friendly material and optimize the production process for future generations. And third, continuing to be leaders in home energy saving for a cleaner and healthier life.
Innovative, eco-friendly products and their features don't just suddenly happen. At LG, everything is planned out down to the smallest detail. Let's dive deeper. Now, one of my favorite scenes here is with Ellie's elderly father controlling all of those LG smart appliances. With LG's development of voice instruction and Braille overlay, it makes it easier for our visually challenged consumers to operate once complicated appliances. And this is more than just a cool feature. With the help of some very important advisors, LG is constantly pushing the boundaries in this area of accessibility by developing products that are universally inclusive and easy to use for all.
Over the last decade, NCAM has worked with LG in the United States on accessibility issues, including co-hosting the annual LG Accessibility Advisory Board workshops. These workshops provide a forum for LG, NCAM, and a group of advisors to compare notes, share ideas, and learn from one another about technology, policy, and regulatory trends in accessibility. At our most recent workshop, the advisors applauded LG's commitment to accessibility, highlighted by new efforts in human factors testing, an in-person testing lab, and many significant accessibility improvements across LG's products. It is great to see LG focus not only on regulatory compliance, but go well beyond, working to make LG products and services smarter and easier for everyone to use, including people with disabilities.
With everyone racing to deliver devices to meet the need of the hour, it's easy to forget our responsibility to also plan for a sustainable future. That's why, at LG, we asked ourselves, how can we elevate the viewing experience without escalating its environmental impact? This led to sustainability becoming fundamental in how we design our TVs. To reduce the production of hazardous compounds, our latest TVs, unlike others, don't need a backlight to function, so they require fewer components to build. Thanks to their fewer components and lighter weight, they're also more power efficient and made using eco-friendly materials to further reduce the TV's environmental impact. After all, even when we're pushing new boundaries in innovation for a better today, we should also expand our vision to include a better, more sustainable tomorrow. Let's head back to Ellie at her parents' house. Did you notice that all of their LG products were energy efficient and eco-conscious? LG has been putting great efforts into making products that are more sustainable and easier on the environment. The goal? With a multifaceted strategy that has been reviewed and validated by climate experts and a science-based targets initiative, by 2030, we plan to reduce the total amount of carbon emissions generated in the product production stage by 50% compared to 2017. LG products are also becoming more eco-friendly throughout their entire product lifecycle, from development production, usage, and even disposal. In fact, we've pledged to introduce up to 600,000 tons of recycled plastic into our manufacturing process and increase the recovery of electronic waste to up to 8 million tons by 2030. This goes to show how LG is making big moves to ensure a more sustainable future.
Our dedication to create a better place led us to initiate the Life's Good Award. With this initiative, LG will curate innovative tech ideas that contribute to sustainable development and award the winner up to $1 million starting in 2023. The Life's Good Award will focus on 2 topics. First, innovation for Earth. Innovation to minimize environmental impact by pursuing zero waste, closed-loop systems, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and addressing climate change. And second, innovation for all. Innovation to ensure that products are easily accessible and user-friendly for everyone. We want to encourage people to strive to make our world a better place and ultimately inspire the feeling of life's good across the globe. We pledge to always stay innovative with the intent of saving our planet and doing our best to ensure a better life for all.
Lights. Ellie, this way. Crew's busy setting up for Rhea's music video.
I'm so nervous.
Don't be. Gonna be perfect. Let me show you around before the shoot starts. And this will be your first scene in the music video with Ray.
What? Awesome ride.
I told you, right? Get the screen.
Oh, hey, Rhea.
Hi, I'm Rhea. Welcome to
We will get ready in here and do a few warm-up exercises with Rhea in the music video.
Oh.
Next, you'll press this button and the styler will slide up with your fabulous dress. And then the next shot, you'll be strutting into the bar with your new outfit looking stunning. All right, from here, Chloe Guidebot will bring you to your seat on set.
Hey, Chloe, please guide me to my seat.
I will escort you. Please follow me.
ServeBot will then bring you a drink. Then you will take a sip of your drink and start grooving to the music. Rhea will make her appearance on this huge LG micro LED screen. By then, our LG door-to-door delivery robot will already be on its way to you with its special package. All right, cut. You deserve it all, baby.
These guys really came together to make Rhea's debut music video a success. Rhea attended last year's CES as our virtual influencer, but this year, she's collaborating with Mystic Entertainment as a singer-songwriter. She's composing her own songs now, so keep an eye out for her first debut album, which will release later this year. When we talk about screens, we're delivering something transformative for the best viewing experience, no matter what your needs may be. LG Micro LED is designed to integrate seamlessly into any space. And because we know that a sense of occasion should go hand in hand with the best sound and picture quality available, we also equipped it with our latest future tech. LG Micro LED will be available in homes later this year. Oh, hey, guys. I'm glad you're here.
Hi, glad to meet you. My pleasure.
Now, can we talk about one of my favorite little guys? The LG door-to-door delivery robot, everybody. I mean, look at him go. This is one of LG's latest innovations, a door-to-door delivery robot that can run both indoor and outdoor journeys. This thing is a powerhouse of technology. It combines the latest in AI-powered autonomous driving technology with LG's world-renowned engineering prowess. Looking ahead to when fully autonomous driving soon becomes reality, the LG Omnipod will provide the means for all the things you can do while you're not driving. This exciting future mobility concept turns into a mobile office when you need to work, an immersive cinema with drinks and snacks on board, a personal shopping mall for virtual retail, or even a personal exercise studio. And when you're at your destination, Omnipod docks in and becomes an extension of your space, wherever you are. All incredible stuff and lots of new ideas for mobility. Very interesting. Now, I'd like to show you something special, when some really smart technology can prevent a day from taking a very different turn. Imagine a smartphone app that can warn pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers of imminent collisions with each other. Through a cloud system powered by 5G, the app collects and analyzes data such as users' locations, direction, and speed, all in real time, an impressive example of connected mobility. Users are alerted with sound, vibration, and warning messages whenever there's a collision risk, making the road a safer place for pedestrians and drivers alike. When it comes to driving technology, LG's digital cockpit is a cutting-edge, fully digitized setup. So, let's experience it with the future mobility we have in mind here at LG. Beyond the obvious changes to our living environment, the way we think about life has been affected as well. In order to address the diverse needs and lifestyles of our users, safer and more convenient vehicle component technologies will have to become a reality. By applying our decades of information and communication technology experience to the automotive sector, we hope that our vision will revolutionize the future of mobility. William, can you tell us a bit more about LG's vision on this, the future of mobility?
Sure. In mobility, from telematics based on ultra-fast mobile communication to digitally integrated cockpits and multimodal human-machine interfaces, we are transforming both hardware and software to reinvent your in-vehicle experiences. It's all about transcending boundaries so you can enjoy the comfort and convenience of your home wherever you are, even when you are on the move. So vehicles become these mobile spaces, versatile, connected, and intelligent, an extension of your home experience with mobility. And that really is the essence of our LG Thinkq ecosystem. So we can make our spaces limitless and our experiences seamless. So whether it's appliances and entertainment experiences designed for you and your lifestyle, all-round efforts to make our offerings more inclusive and more sustainable, or ceaseless innovations that will bring about a future that we can all look forward to. Ours is a story of an enduring but evolving vision of innovation for a better life. And that story, of course, continues on with every intelligent connection we make with you through our products and solutions. And with that little portal into our latest on the better life you deserve, I wish you a great CES and an even greater 2022.
All right, well, that was LG, and it was a pretty wide-reaching presser there, as we saw, all filmed remotely with that nice little scene at the end with the directors directing Carol, as Ayaz was saying. We saw a lot of stuff, and if you were playing Robot Bingo, then you definitely won with those door-to-door delivery robots, the Serve Bot, the Guidebot, and something called the Omnipod. All right, there is a lot to break down here, but thankfully I've got two pros to join me to talk about it. We've got Ayaz Akhtar and our wonderful editor and TV guru, David Katzenmeyer. David, I'm going to start with you. You're our TV pro. We saw a lot of other stuff in there, but you've been kind of covering a lot of the TVs coming out of LG. I want you to give me your perspective on what you saw there and what you've seen out of LG so far at the show.
So thanks, Claire. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff there. The TV stuff was mentioned throughout and the beginning, and that's really what LG, at CNET, we really like their televisions, their OLED televisions in particular. The C1 was my editor's choice for, the best high-end TV last year. So, the TV that I want to start with this year for 2022 is the C2, which is basically the same television. They made a few tweaks. They made it thinner. They added a couple gaming extras, including a gaming mode for dark room. But the C2 is very similar to what it was last year. And LG, don't break what's perfectly good. They've gone ahead and added a couple new screen sizes. So there's a 42 and a larger screen size in another series. But in general, they have the widest range of sizes. Their feature set is excellent, and they really do lead the pack, especially in terms of making these things more affordable. They had an A1 series that dipped down in price. And long story short, this is kind of my pick going in without seeing it for the best TV at the high end for the money, this C2. The other television that they introduced is the G2. So that's the step-up model. This one they're saying is brighter this year, so they made an improvement to the light output on the G2 series. So you're going to get a little bit more punch to the HDR. They're saying 20% brighter in highlights, for example. The G2's claim to fame, I reviewed it last year, is it's super thin. So this is like gallery model. You can mount it on the wall. You see it here on one of their stands. By the way, this is all not at CES. I visited LG's New Jersey headquarters to do these videos and take these shots. So that's where I saw it in person. Great of LG to let us in there earlier in December with full COVID protocols, of course. So, these TVs, again, they have a full lineup of these high-end televisions. The biggest thing that they introduced, though, was the 97-inch version of the G2. And so all of that in the video, this thing is truly ginormous. So one of the things about OLED, again, we talk about screen sizes, they haven't had that same range of sizes as LCD TVs that they compete against. So this 97 really kind of closes the gap there. Of course, the largest before this was an 88-inch OLED. This thing, significantly larger. This is only a 4K, That 88-inch, you can see in the background of the video back there, is actually an 8K. But, I saw this thing in person. It is crazy, huge, really impressive to have that amazing OLED picture quality at that screen size. So, that's cool. And then, of course, LG went smaller this year, too, to add more variety. That 42-inch size available in the C2 series is built as a gaming television. So imagine this thing on your desk or whatever as like the ultimate gaming monitor. Again, it's OLED technology, so it's going to outperform any LCD-based monitor in terms of black level contrast, that sort of thing. And they have great gaming built into these televisions. They have NVIDIA Geforce Now is a new addition. The VRR, the HDMI 2.1, 4K 120 hertz, all that great stuff is in these televisions. So they really are excellent for gaming, and it's also my top gaming TV from last year. We expect the same going into 2022.
That's a fantastic wrap up. I love having you on here and just telling me everything I need to know in one fell swoop, Katz. That's awesome. Ayaz, I'm going to jump to you in a second, but just while we're on TVs, you went from 42-inch OLED, the gaming monitor, kind of focused on that kind of segment of the market, and then we've got the 97-inch behemoth, only a 4K, as you say. Do you think, I guess, price points, we might not have pricing yet, but are these going to be kind of big sellers? I mean, 97 inches, I'm guessing that's for the very top discerning, or let's not lie, kind of cashed up consumer. Where do you think they're going to find success? Or do you think it's still going to be in that sweet spot? You mentioned the C2, the G2, and they're kind of more, I guess, mass market TVs.
So that's a great point, Claire, and that's the number one question I get from readers is like, when are these OLED TVs going to be more affordable? So we saw prices down, below $1,000 for the 48-inch during the holiday season. And these models are actually the 97, sure, maybe 20, 30, 40 grand, whatever, for that television. But LG has made a point of making these more affordable. They also have an A2 series. They didn't get in too much, but that's their entry level model, spec down, again, more affordable. And I'd like to see them get down to, for example, 1500. My dog is wants out here. This is the joys of working from home. It's all right, Bo. I'm almost done talking. But yeah, that $1,500 price point for the 65 inch is a pretty good target.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to let you deal with Bo because I thought I heard a dog in the background. I was like, my dog is definitely, probably waiting to get into this room right now. Let's talk on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. We've got TVs that you can buy, even if some of them are a little bit expensive. Talk to me about those wild robots we saw. We had the door-to-door delivery bot that's capable of being indoors and outdoors. We had a serving bot and a Guidebot. Kind of wild things. I mean, will they be seen out in the wild? Are they going to be the kind of thing that maybe you see showing you around your hotel? I remember when we used to actually be in Las Vegas, there was a little robot that would guide you to the elevator. What was your read on the robots we saw today?
I think it's LG saying to the world, hey, look, we're not giving up on the robots. They introduced them a while ago. I mentioned that in the pre-show. 2018 is when we saw the first Chloe giant bots, and now they've made smaller versions of it. Right now, I think you're seeing the door-to-door bot. There's 3 different variants on these things. I don't know when we will see this in reality, but the idea of a robot that can send your food or like a package instead of sending people, this is something that we've seen a lot in the past couple of years. The idea of, okay, what happens when somebody tries to steal this device? What happens when somebody tries to knock it over? There's a whole bunch of those anti-theft things that LG hasn't mentioned at all about this, but this was part of a larger, very strange sketch that LG did. We've seen the Omnipod for a second, which was essentially a personal fancy bus for yourself. And now you could basically have a self-driving vehicle where you could work out inside of it, or you could get some clothes out of the LG Styler, which is this fancy washer dryer machine that can press your clothes. And you can hang out in this space until you dock somewhere, either your own home or somewhere else. I don't know, like a futuristic campground. That to me was the nuttiest thing I think I saw out of LG, the Omnipod, because I kind of want one, but I have nowhere to go. Claire, what did you think of the Omnipod?
Your description of it as a personal fancy bus is definitely something I'm going to use to describe that. That kind of came on the screen. I'm sort of sitting here taking notes of what I'm seeing, and I was just like, I'm sorry, did they just say Omnipod? No, I messaged that to you, Aya, saying Omnipod, all caps. Yeah, that was strange. I also don't have anywhere to go right now. So where am I going to take my Omnipod? I mean, I guess you sort of saw, it's the culmination of all of these LG technologies into one personal fancy bus. You see the wraparound screen that had kind of slid across in the interior there, the appliance piece with the clothing. I'm not sure how many people are going to be taking the personal fancy bus around town, but that kind of segued into, I believe the assistant's name was Reyes. So we saw that virtual assistant / influencer was apparently on show at CES last year, and they've kind of specced her up, and she's going to be releasing an album this year. She's a singer-songwriter. That was just a moment where I kind of had a bit of an out-of-body experience, being like, what is my job? The rise of the personal influencer. 1, would you listen to an AI album, Ayaz? And 2, I guess, are these influencers going to be big if they're backed by some big corporation? I mean, are we still in touch, or is it the children who are wrong, Ayaz?
I think when it comes to when I listen to AI music, I think there was a bunch of these things online where an AI created a version of a Nirvana song that never existed. And I heard it, and it's just made a bunch of noises, and it sounded about right, but not exactly. So will algorithms determine what kind of music we listen to? I think they kind of already do. As to how the lyrics are produced, I think that's probably a futuristic reality, which is, I think we saw it in Black Mirror, actually. So I think we're headed towards that. Would I listen to it? Probably not even knowing, because at some point I've gotten to the old age of everything sounds the same, and I don't know who anybody is anymore. So maybe Raya could be like a real person. And I had to look it up, like, oh, virtual influencer, because that's a thing now, because that's where we are. Katz, I wanted to ask you a quick question. though. What did you think of the Omnipod? Do you think this is the future?
Well, what I was reminded of, Ayaz, is Cyberpunk 2020. Where I don't remember exactly the name of the video game, the year that it was called, but that game that came out last year. Played the heck out of it. That actually had a flying Omnipod, an autonomous vehicle that you get into, and it ferries you around, through the air. I'm wondering why LG didn't go full on and take the wheels off this bus. Add the champagne bar. Make it the autonomous flying vehicle of my dreams. I played an earlier game, Detroit Become Human, where there are also these kind of like little cars that take you around. I mean, honestly, it's the perfect evolution of the autonomous vehicle is completely forgetting about having any sort of, there's the seats rotate. You don't really need to worry about what's on the road. You just kind of, pay attention to your gigantic OLED television. And we actually published a piece on AI music earlier as well, talking about how these tools are getting bigger and they're getting better, and musicians view them as kind of another tool in the toolbox, a little bit like home recording, for example, where you can go ahead and get access to something that just whips up a song and a hook and does it all for you, and you can kind of integrate your own lyrics and everything. There's an artist called Terrence Southern that does that. So whether it's a complete AI artist or just using these tools, that's already here, and I'm sure we've heard them.
You probably have. You don't even realize it. Everything you're listening to on the radio right now, and we just look a million years old and we're going to ossify and crumble into dust. While I talk about dust and cleaning, what a segue, Claire. Let's talk about, we saw a brief mention of some appliances there. And actually, it wasn't really a brief mention. It was kind of a large focus of the presentation. We always see the kind of washers, dryers, home convenience. They're really trying to sell the concept of everything baked in together. We had that wonderful actor who graduated from the Silicon Valley School of Tech Influencing and Presser Acting. But the idea of being able to just push something from your TV, everything's convenient, everything's sort of baked into your home. Katz, do you see yourself using these devices? Is it really going to be a thing that people start buying those huge herb growers to kind of whack into their wall? Or is it more like you see yourself maybe downloading new features for your washing machine? That was a feature that they dropped, so that you don't necessarily have to buy a new washing machine. You can just get some updated cycles by downloading them through the app.
I gotta say, we recently upgraded at home our oven to give you notifications when the preheating is done. That's good stuff. You get a little thing that's like, oh, I can put the pizza in now. The oven's at 400. Good times. The dishwasher does the same thing, and it's just annoying. But yeah, I actually was kind of my eyebrows are raised by the air purifiers. That's a big category, an emerging category for all these manufacturers, with the fires out west, for example, and the increasing concern about air quality. Even COVID, we actually have a little portable air purifier that we used around the house. And I'm telling you, when people were isolating in my house, we threw it on just in case, one little extra thing. So yeah, I feel like that kind of stuff is definitely really appealing. The smart aspect of it, I can take it or leave it in a lot of cases.
How about you, Ayaz? Do you see yourself using some of these appliances around the home, or are they potentially kind of proof of concept? Well, these are less proof of concept, like the Omnipod, but do you see yourself buying any of these in particular, or really, the convenience you talked about of wanting to have a washing machine that detects everything you're throwing inside? What do you think is most convenient and the biggest selling point here for you?
I'm of two minds on this. Part of me, the geek in me, is like, great, we can get something that's upgraded all the time. I can get new features, so if I can buy it once, I can just make sure that it's got all these things for 5 years. That's great. But then the rational part of me goes, wait a second. Will a firmware upgrade brick my washer? Will it break my dishwasher? Because I need these things to work. So that if their ecosystem gets unsupported, or LG decides not to support devices after a certain point, now I have a device that is stuck with its feature set, which is, back to my geeky side, you already were stuck with the feature set when you bought an appliance in the past. So this is a bonus. But then you have to do all the research. Will it, like I said, will it brick your device? Just like when there would be an iOS update, you'd see all the articles on CNET.com. Do not update to 14.0 just yet, because this might happen. wait till 14.1 or something like that. That stuff happens so frequently in the cell phone market. It does concern me with the appliance market, because the thing about appliances is they're appliances. It's supposed to just work no matter what you do. So I'm excited about it in one respect. I'm a little bit cautious on the other. I am excited about that room-to-room feature I saw with the LG TVs, where you're able to say to the LG Assistant, which somebody's at my door right now, if to the LG Assistant, you can tell it, hey, send this screen to another screen. Cats, I know you mentioned this feature in a video you did. This is not a feature that's coming to every LG TV, right? This room-to-room share?
Yeah, so we were asking LG about this during that meeting that I mentioned in New Jersey. They first of all, they specified, yeah, this is a 2022 thing. So to use this, at least as far as we know, you have to have two, not one, but two brand new LG televisions, which is, I guess what LG wants. It's a cool feature in that they pitched it as, for example, you have one TV connected to cable. I don't know if anybody has cable anymore. But if you do, you can connect your television to cable and then kind of beam wirelessly that cable transmission to another TV that you maybe port outside or take into another room or something like that. Really cool in concept, but again, yeah, the hardware requirements are not really there. And honestly, like if you're going to have an expensive OLED TV, I would recommend keeping it indoors, everybody, just FYI, I'll buy like a $200, TCL Roku and take it outside or whatever. If you want to stream, maybe a little easier. And of course, I definitely recommend, trying our coverage on cord cutting and streaming, because yeah, cable, ouch.
Good selling point there, Cats. And you heard it here first from our expert TV reviewer. Do not leave your OLED TV in the rain. But Cats, I got to ask you that point about interoperability, right? We've seen, or I certainly feel like anytime I'm trying to push something from my phone to my TV, it's just me yelling at my phone and my TV and just leaving the whole situation angry. But we've seen a bit here about software upgrades, and we talked about this in the pre-show, Ayaz and I, that potentially with the supply chain being what it is right now, with everything being on back order, and I don't know if you have a PlayStation 5, but I don't think they exist in the wild. Do you see that maybe some of these innovations are going to be more software focused, and that maybe they're not focusing so much on huge changes to the hardware, because just hardware is a really difficult piece of the puzzle right now? What are your thoughts on that, Katz?
I mean, I love Aya's point of saying, it's really about making the devices easier to use, and that starts with the software. And maybe it would be great if manufacturers just took a year off from making any hardware at all and just, improve their software. You talk about casting. My experiences with casting go back, decade, and it has always sucked. But one of the things that works really well now is AirPlay, Apple AirPlay onto TVs. So you can just flip, whatever's on your phone right to your TV. We've done it a bunch over break, with family videos and stuff in my house, for example. And it works great if you have an iPhone. Android, offers similar functionality with Google Cast. So those things are getting better. Both of those ecosystems, Apple and Google, are, span a bunch of different devices, mobile devices in particular. And I think that's what's, kind of the impetus to develop software, keep it updated. So take Roku, for example. I mentioned Roku TVs. They've been amazing at continuing to iterate, keep their software updated, keep it friendly, and working with a bunch of different TVs. Going back to like 2014, you have a Roku TV, you're getting the latest software update on this thing even now, which is kind of amazing. It's not going to brick. And that's, I think in part because they have so many out there. The operating system is used on so many different televisions, whereas a Samsung or an LG, they make the hardware too, maybe less of an impetus, less of a, institutional desire to keep that software really updated, working really smoothly. So, it's two different things. I personally prefer the larger ecosystems, the Google Tvs, Roku Tvs of the world, that will work with a bunch of different devices. They're familiar, and, they have a really good track record of being easy to use.
I think you're 100% right there, Katz. I think, when you're talking about an ecosystem like Google or Apple, you've just got so many people using it, so it's going to stay up to date. Anytime I've used one of these, I guess, proprietary systems, or, Samsung's in-house software or LG's in-house software, and their Thinkq, I still don't know how to pronounce Thinkq, but it just feels like it's not as user friendly. As you cover a lot about Android and mobile and interoperability like that, do you see that these kinds of the Thinkq systems or the proprietary systems that LG launched today, do you see yourself using them? If you had an LG top of the line brand new TV, would you be using that, or would you be more likely to just rely on Google Chromecasting or AirPlay, something like that?
Well, in general, I try to rely on what works the best. And the thing is, if Thinkq works the best, then that's something I will start paying attention to. But the thing is, Thinkq is an app, and you can do some AI stuff with it where it'll learn your behaviors and things. You'll get little cards. It's very reminiscent of like the Google Now page, which is like 1 million years old. So if it really does learn and you can use it and it helps you, then yeah, I think people will do it. Me personally, unless I buy into the whole ecosystem, I don't know about that. I generally try to look for like something that's supported by a consortium, so at least multiple manufacturers work with the same device. LG was talking about using, like Kat was talking about, the apps for their platform. They have their televisions are running a version of WebOS. And one version, if you guys remember what WebOS was, that was like on Palm phones, like 2007, I want to say, a long time ago. So even LG was like, we don't know what we're doing. We're going to buy somebody else's software. It's going to be better for us. At some point, I don't know how long Samsung and LG can keep going with their in-house versions of their operating system, since Google and Roku are so willing to license out their stuff and their ecosystems grow without the need for them to have like major deals. I mean, let Google pay NVIDIA to have Geforce Now and everything, instead of LG going, hey, NVIDIA, can you make an app for WebOS? And they're like, what's WebOS? And then they have that whole conversation.
Yeah, that would be an awkward conversation that I'd love to be a fly on the wall for, someone hearing that their entire operating system, like someone else hasn't even heard of. Katz, because we've got you, and because I am a selfish consumer as well as a CNET editor, let's talk about actually buying devices that we see out of CES. I'm sure there's a lot of people interested in that who are watching right now. So is there a pick for you? You sort of mentioned at the top there that I think you said the C2 was your sweet spot of TVs. If you're looking at buying an LG TV right now, or maybe feel free to kind of like throw it out to broader brands, what's your kind of lay of the land and what's your pick of the litter, I guess, if that's a way of putting things, which it absolutely isn't. But what's your sort of lay of the land on TVs right now?
Well, first of all, the TV buying season has this almost, clad, written in stone cycle. So at the beginning of the year, CES now is when all these TVs are introduced. Literally yesterday and today, every new TV, pretty much has been introduced. A couple of exceptions, we'll see some more manufacturers, TCL, Hisense, actually they might announce soon as well. But, those guys are all bringing out their brand new TVs now. Their older TVs are still on the market. They're 2021 models. And what happens is, the TVs actually start coming out in spring or summer. So Claire, to answer your question, if you want to buy a C2, for example, generally you'll be, doing that in March, April timeframe. Maybe supply chain will push that back a little bit. But, you're all not going to see the best deal, the best prices on this thing until October, November, December, January, February, because that's when the holiday season rolls around. Until then, I don't even think it's worth buying a television, because you'll save so much more money. Price drops on the high end for these OLED TVs, for example, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, throughout the year. So, if you can, if your TV's not broken, definitely wait until that, fall-ish time frame. This year we saw earlier price drops than ever. LG announced their Black Friday pricing price drops, and the TVs were actually at their cheapest in like early November, late October even. A lot of manufacturers followed suit. So, that it's getting longer and longer, that sort of holiday buying season. But yeah, that's how the TV market works. And another thing I'll add about the supply chain, we saw last year the most expensive TV prices kind of for the last 9 years. And that is partly due to the chip shortage, partly due to the fact that shipping containers couldn't really get here to the United States much last year. And that problem will continue throughout 2022, I'm told. So, we're going to see more expensive TVs. The other side of that is that, people are buying larger TVs. People have more money to invest in larger televisions, and, with not traveling and all the effects of the pandemic. So, people are investing more in home entertainment, spending more on larger televisions, kicking their smaller televisions to other rooms. So that both those effects equal, higher selling prices on TVs and also really good high-end models, like these LG OLEDs and other manufacturers. I'll throw out there, since you mentioned it, Samsung introduced their first OLED TV. I think I referenced that earlier. Sony has both types of OLED televisions now, so there's a lot of competition among these high-end models, and it'll be fun to review them this year.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a very busy year ahead of you, and I'm sorry that once again I didn't buy you a card for TV purchasing season. It's I'm across a lot of the US holidays, but I'm not across TV purchasing season yet. And I just want to throw one final question your way, and it potentially may be something you can or can't answer, but just on pricing for some of those new models. I know often we see an unveiling of a product, but not necessarily the price tag to match. Do we have a ballpark for that 97-inch huge, beautiful OLED, or on the smaller 42-inch model? Kind of give us a rough ballpark of what we might be expecting to pay, or are we still yet to find out that information?
So yeah, to be clear, no official pricing on these, but I'm no stranger to guessing and being totally wrong. I think in the video I said $10,000. I'm going to take that back. A heck of a lot more for that 97. Yeah, maybe 30, 40, 50 grand even. I mean, these TVs are really difficult to make, ship. They cost so much money, and again, the well-heeled individuals who are in this market will probably pay an arm and a leg for the world's largest OLED TV. At the 42-inch size, it's interesting because the most common OLED TV size is 55 inches. And those are the ones that came out first. Those are the ones that, are kind of in a little bit of a sweet spot. The 42 is a little bit, smaller than that, significantly smaller. But the price isn't really proportionally that much lower. So we saw this with the 48-inch introduction last year compared to 55. It actually started at the same price for, the smaller TV. I wouldn't be surprised if the 42 was around the same price as the 48 and the 55 when it first comes out, maybe in the $1,500 ballpark range. But again, that'll go down, in the holiday season, as I mentioned, maybe under $1,000, maybe even less for the 42-inch. So, for an OLED TV, that starts to become affordable for people again if you have some extra money left over from, not going to Disney World or whatever.
Yeah, well, I've got plenty of leftover money from not going to Disney World, Cats. It's been a very hard move to the US for me. Okay, I do want to, we're close to wrapping up, but I do want to just ask you while I have you, Cats. It's obviously a very big day today. We've got a lot of press conferences coming out. As our TV reviewer, what are you keeping an eye out for today from the likes of Sony, Samsung? I think we've got Hisense coming today as well. What's the kind of, what are the big announcements that you're hoping to see?
Well, Claire, this is an easy one. Talk about being early. Sony and Samsung have already released their news. TCL has as well. So, with this weird COVID CES, everything's coming even earlier than ever. Samsung dropped their news on Sunday evening, for example. LG announced last night, and Sony was this morning along with TCL. So the coolest stuff, for me is these OLED TVs. There's also some new mini LED TVs from a bunch of different manufacturers, including Sony's doing that for the first time. That's a less expensive, but still really good picture quality that can get really bright and has some advantages over OLED, and can come in different screen sizes as well. So that's good to see. We're also seeing some new innovations. Samsung has this remote that somehow eats radio waves to recharge itself in addition to a solar panel. Talk about eco. And Sony is really just throwing everything at the wall with their image quality. Like I said, they have two different kinds of OLEDs, including this new very intriguing QD OLED panel manufactured by Samsung Display. That thing is now officially confirmed for 2022. It's been rumored for the last couple of years. Finally, some competition for LG, who makes basically all the current OLED TV panels. So at the high end of the TV market, hopefully that means some lower prices and maybe even some improved picture quality on the already spectacular OLED images that we can enjoy today.
Fantastic. Well, look, as unrelated to everything Kat's just said, I am definitely going to need to borrow $30,000 to $40,000 from you for that 97-inch TV. So I'm going to hit you up in the chat about that later. Hope that's
not
cool.
a problem. I'll just be hitting you up for about $200,000 to $300,000 for the Omnipod in about 2 to 3 years.
Okay, fabulous, fabulous. We'll consider it a bit of a down payment then. All right, so we've got a packed day, of course. We heard a bunch there from you, Cats. Thank you so much for giving me the full rundown. We've got Hisense coming up at 9 a.m. We've got Intel, Qualcomm. If you're interested in more TV stuff, we've got Sony and Samsung this afternoon. Make sure you're tuning back here to CNET's YouTube channel at 3 p.m. we are going live with the Hyundai press conference, so we'll be up on that at 2:45, just a bit before the press conference there. And I'll be back at 5:45 this afternoon for the Samsung presser that's kicking off at 6 p.m. So it's a really packed day. We will be carrying all of these press conferences over on our CNET Highlights channel. If you want to tune in there and see all the announcements from CES, of course, we've got our live shows back here on the CNET flagship channel, and for all of the analysis, for all of the things you want to hear about, all the news, announcements, everything you need to know about from CES, cnet.com. That's where you need to go. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. I think that's everything I need to mention. Thank you so much to my wonderful colleagues, David Katzenmeier and Ayaz Akhtar. It has been great having you on today. That's all from us for now. Make sure you stay tuned to CNET. We have got plenty more coming from CES 2022. Thanks, team.